Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Good morning, Andy. I'm to survey the wreckage. Yesterday was my losingest day of 2025, and I don't even see the numbers to know that. It was not a good start to the season for me, and it was capped off with one of the more egregious collapses that I can remember. I guess we're getting the bad beats out of the way early this year, Andy. Hopefully.
Getting them out early.
Holy
oh my God.
shit.
Can you imagine just a whole season of this?
You know who does not get a good morning from me? John Harbaugh. The fuck, man? What are we doing? God, I don't want to spend too much time talking about the Ravens. Our Monday mornings, we are going to give you consistent format where Andy goes through the market and I react to the market adjustments and or just add a little bit of context. Some of them I may just shrug and say no comment. But we're going to keep this short and sweet. This isn't going to be a big reactions to what we just saw. This is all about the market. Andy, take it away.
Yeah, we'll talk more reactions later in the week. We're gonna do a Tuesday show. Obviously, we do a big Wednesday show, and yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this to like 15 minutes, which is it's like climbing Mount Everest for a Chihuahua. We are struggling at keeping it short as I vamp right now. So gonna go in rotation order for next week. Right off the bat, Washington, Green Bay, your Thursday game. Look ahead.
Let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Is your mic on?
Oh my God, it isn't.
We are in regular season mode. We are in preseason week 4 mode, like the entire NFL was yesterday. I was showing. We're still catching you on the laptop mic, I think.
To pop up. All right, now it's good.
There you go.
The Roadcaster. So I was showing Drew, I got new lights. You can tell. Look at this lighting in here. It's great.
Beautiful lighting.
Unplug the Roadcaster as I go. All right, Thursday night football. We should have background music for this almost. Look ahead was Green Bay minus 48.5 hosting the Washington Commandos. Reopens -4. A little lower on the total too, 47.5. Hobbs didn't go for Green Bay. That was something we were worried about all preseason, didn't know. And then there was a couple little injuries. Zach Tom, the offensive lineman, left with a hip injury, as well as Aaron Banks, the guard, with an ankle injury in the second half, something to monitor. There's a lot of offensive line injuries. So Green Bay opens a little bit bigger of a favorite. Drew.
I disagree. This is a huge. This feels like classic over adjustment to a week 1 performance.
Yeah, we'll see. I think a lot of that might have been Detroit and less so Green Bay. Although my 2 cents on that, Green Bay's offense looks pretty good when Jordan Love isn't carrying around 2 injuries.
Yeah, I don't have a lot more to add, but Washington, I thought, looked sharp, and they could basically run the same game plan out against Green Bay. I think the Commanders are one of the better bets of the week and actually my when we do the full game breakdowns on Wednesday, I think this will be 3.
Yeah. Sunday. No Friday game second week. New England, Miami was -2.5, 45.5. Reopens a little lower. -1.5 for the hosting Dolphins, and a much lower total, down to 44. Christian Gonzalez is obviously the injury you have to keep an eye on for New England. He didn't get to go. Possible return, kind of up in the air. I don't know that he goes. Jalen Wright missed the game. He was your running back 2 in Miami. He maybe goes. I don't know. That feels like that could be another couple weeks. But they also had 2 offensive linemen get hurt during the game. So they lost James Daniels, the right guard, and who was the other offense? The right tackle and the right guard both exited the game. They're a little thin on that side as it is, and backups. And then Storm Duck also went to the locker room, which is whatever.
I mean, they're not exactly deep at that position, Andy.
No. I guess this is a tough one for me too.
I guess we're just
downgraded.
Well, I guess we're keeping Miami favorite because of the interim coach bounce.
There we go. Yeah, we'll see. I might be looking at New England in this one. As much as I fucking hate that, I'm down on that team. Jacksonville, Cincy. This was 6.5 on the deep open. Look ahead. It actually got bet the other way down to 4.5. Total was hovering around 51. Reopens Cincinnati -3.5 with some obvious upgrade to Jacksonville. And the total similar, 50.5 right now. Jacksonville did have their right tackle, Anton Harrison. He left the game late with a back injury. Keep an eye on that. Cincinnati, not a lot of injuries, but they also apparently had 7 yards in the second half. That's a game I didn't watch much of. High on the rewatch list today.
Yeah, this feels a little bit like potential overreaction to Jacksonville. I don't know if I want to give them a ton of credit as much as that was just sort of a state of where the Panthers are right now. But at the same time, if you're going to downgrade an offense, I think you got to look at Cincinnati. Those guys were not world beaters yesterday, particularly in that second half. But how much of that was Cleveland? It's tough to say.
Yeah, and obviously the downgrade isn't affecting the total as much as that's still sitting in the 5s. So we'll see where that goes. Cleveland, Baltimore. This was 12.5. This isn't up everywhere. It's still early. 44.5 up to 45.5. Pretty similar places. Pretty similar numbers where it's up this morning. Jack Conklin got his eye poked so hard that he missed the rest of the game for the Browns. Cornelius Lucas had to play. I assume he'll be back unless he tore his cornea or something awful. Baltimore obviously had Isaiah Likely and Ricard out last week, worth monitoring, see if they'll be back for that offense. The offense looks fine. Guard Lucas Patrick left with a calf injury, did not return for Baltimore. I don't know. It's a ton of points against a team I don't know we learned a lot about in Cleveland.
Yeah, Baltimore is a must consider for Survivor this week. Yeah, kind of a lean week for Survivor. You gotta make a decision if you're firing Buffalo or Baltimore this week.
I might have to have coffee too for this show. We might have to both have coffee. All right. New York Giants at Dallas. This was Dallas -3, 44.5. Reopens with a Dallas upgrade, 4.5, 5 some places, and a slightly lower total. With most places around 44. Giants linebacker Mike McFadden he was carted off. The x-rays were negative. We'll see how that goes from there. Not a lot of injuries otherwise.
Yeah. Boy, I feel like the upgrade for Dallas is warranted here. I was certainly too low on them. I felt like coming out of that Thursday night game. And the time to fade Dallas is certainly when they're up against a team that has a meaningful running attack and presumably a two-pronged running attack where the quarterback and running back are both viable. And the Giants have neither of those. So not exactly a spot to. And also, by the way, Giants in a horrible spot here. Second week in a row on the road. And Dallas gets extra rest coming off Thursday. So
yeah, situationally not great. Dallas is a consideration for Survivor if you want to get sneaky. Especially based on some of the weird spots they have later on, but not super useful. The Rams go to Tennessee. This was 5.5, 45.5. Rams as the road favorites. Total reopens much lower. It's still around 5 on the reopen, but the total was 45.5. Reopens pretty much 42 across the board. I think Nakua is fine. He just had a little emo eye blood. Steve Avila went out in the first half but returned. Kevin Dotson, the right guard for the Rams, he left with an ankle injury. Tennessee also, we got to watch for J.C. Latham. I never know how to say his name right. He had a hip injury, and they had to bring in Oli. He wasn't even playing well, and then he was hurt. And his backup, Oli Uda, was not any better. So keep an eye on that. Also, cornerback Jarvis Brownlee got hurt in the second half.
Yeah, Cam Ward, Joey Sly, maybe the only two good things going on in Tennessee. That is a lean talent pool out in Nashville. The Rams, on the other hand, I agree, upgrade their defense. They were awesome yesterday. And Stafford was fine. He threw some darts. And in general,
pass rush.
I guess a tough pass rush. And it felt like McVay came in with a little bit of a conservative game plan because he wasn't sure what he was going to get from Stafford. Yeah. And I would expect that he opens up the playbook a little more. So I generally agree with the market adjustments on this one.
Buffalo. The big surprise winners last night. Fuck Buffalo. Heading to the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. Look ahead was -8 road favorites, 44.5. Places that are open a little lower, 7, 45.5, a little higher on the total. Not much to write home about for injuries either way, but Buffalo's offense looked pretty good.
Yeah, their defense looked pretty questionable, though. I would expect the Jets are going to be able to do a lot of what they did against the Steelers, maybe even better. This one feels like a clear, obvious look at the over.
The total opened a little higher, but I would think if I ran numbers right now, I'd probably make it closer to 48. So
yeah, I think
hard agree that might be an early look for me. Chicago at Detroit. We're waiting for the Bears to play tonight. Detroit is obviously going to get some sort of market downgrade. Terry and Arnold injured his groin in the third quarter. Monitor that, and we'll revisit this after the Bears play a game. Seattle at Pittsburgh. This was Pittsburgh -2.5, 41.5. This was actually bet down during the look aheads, down to 40.5. Reopens kind of in that 2.75 range. There's some light threes, heavy 2.5s, and the total still at 40.5. Joey Porter Jr. had some hamstring issues. He got pulled to shut him down. There was a couple other defensive injuries that were not as important. And then Seahawks had like that rookie safety was injured, I think, on a special teams play, which hurts their depth there a little, but very low total here again for the Pittsburgh team that was one of the only 2 games to go over last week.
Yeah. Not sure what to do with my Seattle numbers. I still don't understand how they didn't intercept that Purdy pass in the end zone. That was ultimately the game-winning throw.
They intercepted some other ones. Speaking of the Niners, the thin get thinner. San Francisco heads to Big Easy, where they are 7. They were on the look ahead 7-point favorites over the New Orleans Saints. Total 44.5. This is down to 6.5. And the total down as well to 43. Juwan Jennings and George Kittle both to get MRIs today. That is the one skill position group that you couldn't have getting hurt. Obviously, with the Kittle thing is not great. Saints right tackle Talise Fuaga had a knee injury. He did not return in the second half, and I don't have a strong take on this. I went to bat with the Saints last week. Maybe should have got there, maybe shouldn't have.
No, Juwan Johnson should have caught that touchdown, Dandy. The back door was right there for us, and we don't get it. It sucks. I'm sad not to have 7 here. It's going to be tough to go to war without 7 points in this one. Ricky Pearsall overs are probably just good to any number. Kool-Aid McKinstry can't play.
Yeah, Pearsall looked good. Speaking of Arizona, Carolina heads to the desert. It was Cardinals -4.5, 46.5. This was up to 6.5, 7 on the reopen. The total dropped a little. Obviously, downgrade for what we thought might have been a continuance of a decent-looking Carolina offense. The Carolina defense was just as bad as advertised, as they were bullied during a 6.5-hour game. They played without Ike Ekwonu, who's still recovering from an appendectomy. I expect him to return, I guess, because it seemed like it was up in the air last week. And then Turk Wharton was injured. He was ruled out in the second quarter with a knee injury on an already thin and bad defense. Cardinals getting a lot of respect, or is this just Carolina getting downgraded?
I think it's Carolina getting downgraded, and we were low on them heading into the season. So are you going to go down from where you are? That's the big question.
Maybe a little bit on offense. Denver heads to Lucas Oil. This was Denver is a 3-point road favorite, 44.5. Reopens a little lower, 43.5, as Denver wasn't exactly super impressive at home. And Indy scored a bunch. Denver, you got to watch the Evan Ingram calf injury. He played with it, and then in the fourth quarter, it looked like he re-aggravated it, and he was pretty mad about it. Indy had a cornerback, Jalen Jones, non-contact injury to his left hamstring. Did not return. Steichen says he's okay. We will wait and see because coaches lie. What do you think of the Den? Is this more of an Indy upgrade?
I think it is, and I don't agree with that. Indy goes from playing an FCS secondary to now the best defensive football. It's gonna be a little bit of a what do you call it?
Rude awakening.
A rude awakening. Yeah, big adjustment.
I might go back to the well at Denver here. They're going to give them that sort of a downgrade.
Well, I think this is just look for the under. With Bo Nix having a couple of sloppy moments, maybe he gets a little. Sean Payton slaps him on the wrist a little bit. He gets put back in timeout.
We're going to run the ball, buddy.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a little more conservative game call from, although at the same time, like, I don't know what Denver was doing yesterday, man. Denver did some really stupid shit yesterday. They were lucky.
Knicks looked a little mid at times. Like he wasn't.
He looked worse than mid, I thought.
He wasn't on his game. But he had some nice throws.
Yeah, it's some nice.
But the bad throws the lows were very low. Philly KC. This was KC -1.5 over the last week. A 46. It flipped to basically Eagles -1. Now a slightly lower total, 45.5. I get it. Kansas City, obviously early season underwhelm at times, and I don't know that the Eagles need a big upgrade. I think their number's fine where it is.
I don't really get upgrading the Eagles. This looks like an entirely downgrade on Chiefs because of the Worthy injury, which I agree with.
We'll see if they are working somebody out. I forget to
Eagles bringing in
Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I can't remember, but yeah, the Mike Hilton thing was the only thing I had in the notes for injuries. Not really an injury, but maybe an upgrade there. Atlanta at Minnesota. We're waiting for Minnesota to play tonight. Some market support.
Although Mike Hilton couldn't make the team in Miami.
Yeah. Well, you put him on a better squad. Put him on a better squad. Some market support for Atlanta and the look-ahead markets slightly to the under as well. We'll wait to see after Minnesota plays tonight. Mooney missed game 1. Seemed borderline to kind of expect him back. Drake London is obviously the one to watch with the shoulder injury. Sunday night, Tampa Bay, Houston. This was -2, 46.5. Reopened similar on the side, but the total's been getting beat down here. Bookmaker opened lower than some of the other places that opened a touch earlier, but there was some openers that were like 45.5, 46, it looks like. Bookmaker opened 44.5, and it still took money to the under. So checks out, I guess, with Houston's defense playing as well they did. I don't know that
Houston's
Tampa Bay's defense is that? So yeah, that's the other thing. So Jake Andrews, the center, injured his ankle second half, and then also right guard Ed Ingram was a late scratch with an abdominal injury. So they're an already bad offensive line's getting worse. I guess I see it with the under a little, but also Tampa Bay's defense looked a little gettable at times.
They did. Although their run defense is still very good.
Yes.
Vita Vea is a problem.
And I misspoke. The Atlanta-Minnesota game is Sunday night. It is double Monday. This is a Monday night. This is a Monday night game that starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. The other one will start at 10 Eastern. Out west, final game, Chargers, Vegas. This was
full on. This is a full-on NBA tip time. This is wild.
This is Warriors Kings starting at 10:30 for me.
I love this.
So Chargers. I'm going to be such a bitch on Tuesday. This was the Chargers as road favorites, -3, 44.5. It is still around the 3, but there's some cheap 3.5s starting to pop up. Total is up from 44.5 to 45.5, 46. Actually, some 47s now. So that total is getting bet up. The injuries to watch for, obviously, Denzel Perryman didn't return after an ankle injury way back when the Chargers played on Friday. Brock Bowers is apparently fine. That looked worse than it was, I guess. They're saying he's going to be good to go. Landon Roberts, though, he exited with the elbow injury and did not return. He matters to that defense. So this is another one where I do agree with the market betting this up a little. as I don't know, Vegas can probably rock a little on offense. And Herb's looked MVP-esque. Like 2 best quarterback performances of the week were in the same game, and then Herbert is right there. Like those are your 3 best quarterbacks, I guess.
Yeah. At least
we haven't seen JJ play fair.
We haven't seen JJ. You're right. Yeah. We don't know about Mr. McCarthy yet.
20 minutes though. 20 minutes. Look at this.
I would guess. Yeah. I would guess that comes into 3. I think the market's going to take the 3.5 there. What do you think?
I do kind of like the over. Obviously, I missed the boat on some of the good numbers, but I may be looking at that one again.
Yeah. Tom mentions, tell me how the Texans score 17 plus points. I think you made a typo, Tom. Is it 7 plus? That is going to be a very, very tough ask for that offense to get out of the mud with the offensive line injuries that currently exist. Good thing they have 9 offensive linemen they like, Andy, because they're going to need to dip into the best. Yeah. You love it when a team is like, we finally found our best 5, and then 2 of those guys get hurt.
And that does continue to tick down. Like when I made these notes a little bit ago, I should have a screen up for this, because that was 44.5 down to 44 to 43.5. Like there's 43s now that's down to 42.5. That under is getting absolutely slammed.
How much is on Stroud? How much on line? Can it be both? I thought Stroud was pretty solid yesterday.
He looks fine.
Like the quick interior pressures where the Rams really got him a couple of times, where doesn't matter who you have. You could have a fucking Houdini back there. You're gonna get sacked. All right, good job, man. 20 minutes.
All right.
I like the format. I thought you killed it. And I'll try to stay out of the way more next time. You want to talk?
No, I think it was a nice perfect 20-minute back and forth. When I say 15, I mean 20 for us. So
yeah,
I think we did great. Hey, appreciate you. If you watched on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. If you like this podcast in your daily feed, please let us know. And if you have any changes you'd like to see, because we're going to try to do 4 of these this week. Thank you, Smiling Faces, to let us know it is the end of the show. And I'm not even going to hit the outro music. We're cutting it. Oh, Drew hit it. Hitting it.